Sebastian, and this is my friend Denise. We are so happy and excited for having you here and answering some of our questions. We are from 7th grade and we study at Menor. And yeah, let's start with the questions. Denise?
Our first question is, what motivated you to become a diver and work for this campaign?
Okay, first of all, as you can see in so many areas in the world that as a diver that you visit some places and in some of the areas are we have our oceans empty. There's no fish. It's like a swimming pool. So you see these changes when you go, like in this case, a protected area, like in the Galapagos Islands, that you can see so much life, a lot of abundance of marine megafauna. And this is their reaction when you visit this place and then you go to another place, maybe in the Mediterranean, to go diving, and you see a completely ocean empty with no life. So that's why most of the people that they are involved a lot of in the diving industry, they want to promote conservation. They want to promote marine protected areas. So because some of the places that when you have a little bit of life, as soon as you get it protected, you're going to have all this life back. Next question.
Second question, yes. Which has been the most exciting adventure you've had?
I think the most exciting adventure I had in my life, it's my second expedition that I did in the Galapagos, because it was my expedition, my project, my own project. And also it was the first time that I involved professional freedivers. I don't know if you guys know what freediver means.
No.
You know scuba diving, right?
Yes.
Okay, scuba diving, you go underwater like for 10, 20 to 30 meters deep underwater, but you have a tank. So you can still breathe when you are underwater. In the case of freediving, it's very similar, but with no tank. It's just holding your breath. So I did this expedition because I wanted to shoot this documentary with all my freediver ambassador team to go to freedive for the first time in Darwin and Wolf Island. That this is one of the best places to dive in the world. And why freediving? Because when you go freediving, you become like another fish. As soon as you go underwater and you can hold your breath more than 2 or 3 minutes, you become like a fish. You don't have any type of noise to all the marine animals. So there's no distraction to them because there's no noise, there's no bubbles, and you can move more easily because you don't have so much equipment. So it's a little bit difficult the first time, but as soon as you learn how to free dive, you can go 10 to 20 meters deep on your breath hold, and you can be in the middle of maybe hundreds or thousands of sharks around. So it was the first expedition in the Galapagos Islands, a freediving expedition. So I think it was like my best project, and at the same time it was very we had to be very cautious because we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know what was going to be the reaction of all this life with us. But actually it was incredible. We end up in the middle of hundreds of hammerheads, giant whale sharks, manta rays, sea lions, and some other sharks that we have there.
It's so cool. We were also wondering, like, do you do research before, like, do you do research about each animal's behavior before you go diving? Because, like, we have seen your videos and you're so close to them. Like, do you have to know their behavior before you go diving?
Exactly. Each marine animal, they have a different reaction. Like in this case, hammerhead sharks, they are very shy. So as soon as you go underwater and if you have a scuba tank or something, there's noise, they're gonna go away like immediately because they are really, really, really shy. So it's very hard to approach them or be right next to them because of the bubbles. So that's why we started to do free diving with these type of sharks. In the case of other sharks, like in this case, tiger sharks. Tiger sharks are very, very, very smart. So you have to really be careful what you do. So every time that we jump with tiger sharks, we have to be at least 3 divers because we need to watch 360 around. You know what I mean? So if I'm watching one of the sharks right in front of me, I have to watch out my back. So I need to have one of my body guys right next to me controlling my back. You know what I mean? So, and this is exactly the same every time to dive with tiger sharks because they're very curious. Sometimes they're not gonna bite you, but maybe they're gonna maybe try your camera or try your fins. So you really need to watch out with this type of sharks. And they can even come and bite your tank. So that's why sometimes in my videos, this is the only shark. This is the only shark that I sometimes I touch the shark because they come really close and sometimes just to see what you are, they come and play you around and touch you. So you have to put your hand like this and move him around. And in other species, like in this case of manta rays, you guys seeing in the newspaper some some of the one person died with a stingray attack or something like that, but it's not. The manta rays that we have here, the tail doesn't have any poison or anything. But the thing is that the manta rays that we have here in Ecuador coast are huge, are oceanic mantas, and these mantas, they cannot bite you because they don't have teeth, they eat plankton, and the tail doesn't have any type of poisons as well, so that it cannot hurt you. It's really, really impossible to have a problem with this manta rays. And they are very, very curious, but the thing is that if you guys see the video, maybe one of my friends or me diving right next to a 7-meter wingspan manta ray, you're like, wow, this is impossible. You wanna die or something, you know? Like, but no, it's not gonna hurt you at all. They're very curious. This kind of marine animal, the manta rays, they love bubbles. So as soon as you go under the manta ray, you start throwing all the bubbles on her belly, she's gonna stay with you for 45 minutes. And in the same thing, as soon as they see bubbles, they'll come to play with you. They are really, really, really smart. They will stay for an hour going around you, and because of the plankton, and they get cleaned up by a small fish, so they come really close to some of the areas that they have the cleaning stations that are this small type of fish. So they stay there until all the fish they get close and start doing the cleanup. So depending of the marine animal, you need to learn a little bit how is the behavior of the animal, and then you can come close to it.
And also learn like how to stay calm, like
exactly.
when we're close to them.
Exactly. Sharks are very, very smart, and they can feel you when you are maybe far from them, and they can even feel your heart breathing. So as soon as if you are a little bit nervous, just if they see you like going splashing and stuff like that, they can get more concentrated with you. So that's why you need to be very, very calm. As soon as you go underwater, you don't need to move your legs like this or your arms like this, because they're gonna feel that you're very, very nervous. So they're gonna start getting more curious. So that's why as soon as you go underwater, you need to be calm.
Next question. Which has been the biggest challenge you have ever encountered on your adventure to save or defend the ocean?
My biggest adventure to defend the ocean maybe was my first expedition that I worked with National Geographic. Uh, this expedition was to protect the Galapagos Islands, and this was in 2015. I worked in this big project led by Henrik Salag, oceanographer from Spain. And we did this expedition to protect the Galapagos Islands, and this expedition was a big expedition. And we were with no internet connection, no phone calls, no text messages or anything for a month. We were in the Galapagos doing this big exploration, and not only for diving. We have a small submersible that's like a small submarine that we went down for 500 meters deep. Just imagine that. It's an area that you don't even have light. It's very, very dark. And just to see what you can discover there, and you see what type of shark we can find on that depth, or other marine animals that we have only in the Galapagos, like in this case, marine iguanas, maybe sea lions. So it was like a big study that this expedition did, and I thankfully to the Ecuadorian government, I went there to work for a month with them.
Wow, that's so cool. So we know that pollution has increased like in the past years. We wanted to know, in your point of view, what advice can you give us to stop pollution, and do you think we will be able to recover from all this pollution in the ocean?
Okay, in this case, pollution. Our future ocean ambassadors are you guys. So, because in this case, in the case of pollution, maybe your father or your mother, they've been using a lot of plastic in their lives or in the last 20 years, you know. But if they see your kid or your son or your daughter trying to not use this type of material in your daily life, they're gonna change the way of thinking. You know, like it's gonna be a little bit different to them, seeing that your own kids are not using anymore plastic bottles or this type of plastic bags in Super Maxi or Mi Comisariato and all these places. You know, maybe the best way for everyone, for kids, for you guys, for young kids, is like saying your parents, you know what, are you going to the supermarket? And she's like, yeah, I'm going in the afternoon. Okay, I'm gonna give you my bags that I have, and I'm gonna give it to you. This is our not plastic bags. This is our reusable bags, so you can use it. And then if you want, I can have it. I can have that home if you don't have a place to leave it. And this is gonna change your mind, you know. And the same thing with plastic bottles. Not use plastic bottles. Change this way to use every day. And the same thing every time that you travel. Take your own bottle, and as soon as you go, remember, like if you go to the beach and you love to drink water all day, take your bottle, go to the beach, and come back with the same bottle.
So have you seen that pollution has affected it, like the ocean and the marine life?
Of course. There's islands only with plastic bags. You can sometimes you see when we go to the Galapagos, and then you see this type of pollution that came from another country. You can even see plastic bags or plastic bottles from China or from Australia, that the ocean currents, they take us to anywhere, you know, and that will take maybe 100 hundreds of years to stay there and not disappear. So in all these type of places, and that maybe there's not even people that live there, and you're gonna find full of trash. So you see the pollution where all the countries, they have to take care of this, and you see now all the problems that we have worldwide. The same thing here. We have one of the biggest rivers in Ecuador, or the biggest river in Ecuador here in front of Guayaquil, and this river ends up in the ocean. So if you throw something in the river, maybe in the highest cities like Quito or Cuenca, and you throw something in the river there, all that is going to come up, is going to end up in the ocean. So every time that you throw something, you have to really be careful, because this is not going to stay in the river. This is all going to end up in the ocean.
Do you have any messages for our classmates or school?
Messages. Maybe if you guys want to learn more about marine life or marine protected areas, I work with, last time that I worked with National Geographic, we work with Pristine Seas. It's a documentary that, well, it's a project that they do worldwide in different parts of areas in the world to get it protected, and talk with the local governments to get it protected, like we did it in the Galapagos. So one of the best ways to learn how to do that maybe is look up to all these documentaries that are in digital platforms like in National Geographic. Also to learn more as well about all these marine protected areas. You can look at to all my documentaries that I done with my international sponsors, like Galapagos Evolution. My first documentary in the Galapagos, I did it with Pierre-Yves Cousteau. I don't know if you guys know a little bit about Jacques Cousteau. Do you know who's Jacques Cousteau?
No.
No. Okay. Jacques Cousteau invented scuba diving. Okay, and he was the biggest person doing expeditions in the world and doing documentaries and showing the people how really marine life is in our ocean. And in the expedition that I did in my first documentary, Galapagos Evolution, we proposed to his youngest son, Pierre-Yves Cousteau, and he came with us. And he learned how to free dive with us during that expedition. And this expedition, we did it in 2016, and we have it in digital platforms like iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play. And the second documentary is Socorro Evolution, that we did it in Revillagigedo Islands in Mexico. It's a very similar place like Galapagos, but it's in Southern California. So if you guys want to learn more also about free diving and all the marine protected areas, you can look it up in Amazon, Google Play, and iTunes about my second movie. And if you have social media, it's very easy. You can just type Ocean Evolution Films or my name, even my name, Roberto Ochoa, and you will see tons of marine life and a lot of interaction with all these sharks, manta rays, even whales.
Hey, thank you so much for being with us today, and we're so glad you could connect with us and share all your experiences in the ocean, and I'm sure you encouraged all of us in Menor students to protect the ocean.
Thank you so much.
Roberto, if you can show us some of the videos so we can also upload the videos, please.
Okay.
That would be great. Roberto, they were a little nervous because they were gonna meet you.
All right, this is the first one. This is Galapagos Evolution that we did with with the youngest son of Jacques Cousteau.
One planet only is a glowing oasis of life. The Earth. One feature of this planet is the cradle of life, the ocean. One species only has clawed its way out of the food chain, humans. Our perception of the world has evolved. We used to think the ocean was infinite, too vast for us to destroy it. Now, we see the damage we've done. Climate change, pollutions, and overfishing are devastating marine life worldwide. Greed is destroying our planet. Far from the continents, a group of islands changed the way we perceive nature nearly 200 years ago. The Galapagos Islands, an oasis of life in a dying ocean. A team of ocean ambassadors sets out on a quest to reconcile man and nature and to change the way we see the world. We are not alone in the universe, and if we care for nature, we never will be.
So this is the first documentary, Galapagos Evolution, and that's actually Cousteau. And this is the second documentary. No. Any questions about Galapagos?
No?
Okay.
When I'm in front of the sea, its immensity makes me realize just how small we are. Her immensity intrigues us, and it can take a lifetime to discover everything inside. Her secrets, her colors, and her majestic diversity.
So this is the second documentary that we released it last year, and it's in Amazon Prime, Google Play, and iTunes.
This was in Mexico.
Huh?
This was in Mexico.
Mexico, yes. Yes, and we are currently working on this third documentary that maybe we're gonna have it ready for next year. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit. And this is something different. There's not too many people that they've been diving with crocodiles, but there is a place, a small place in Cuba that is called Jardines de la Reina, or Gardens of the Queen. And this is an untouched area. There's no tourists, there's nobody else. It's only wildlife and mangroves right next to the ocean. And this place, we're not finishing, we're finishing the documentary. And as soon as we have everything ready, we're gonna start promoting this on our digital platforms. But we have a small video that I'm gonna show you guys. And this is another completely different way of think with crocodiles, because every time that you see something in the news or here when you see in Puerto Azul some people getting images of these animals, everybody's like, what? Please, I'm not touching that water, you know, like. But no, this is different. Not too many people know about this and about this animal, but if you can see here, you can get really close to crocodiles. And of course, it's better to have clean water because they can see you far away, and they're not gonna get scared, because this is normally what happens with an animal. When you don't have good visibility, when they see you when you're very, very close to it. So they're gonna get scared of you, or you're gonna get scared of them, right?
Yes, we saw some videos on your page. They were so cool.
Oh, thank you. So I'm gonna show you this small teaser in Cuba. So these are all the mangroves in this area.
Camera 1, Roberto, do you copy? Roger that, I will. Excellent.
Oh, you're so close to them.
Yeah, but as you can see, they come to you really close, but they don't try to attack you or anything. So this is a good place to have an interaction with them, because there's really good visibility, and this place is right next to is in the ocean actually. So you're going to see a lot of barracudas right next to the crocodiles, and you're going to see a lot of life, a lot of fish. So if they are hungry, they're going to eat something, but not us, you know. And also and even sharks you can see in the same place. And this is salt water, and this is one of the few places that you can dive with crocodiles in the ocean, because regularly you're going to see it in maybe in the Everglades or places that is not 100% salt water.
I never seen like crocodiles in the ocean.
Yeah, and actually this place is very, very protected. It's one of the part that is not affected by hurricanes, because it's in the southern part of Cuba. So this place is being untouched. There's not too many going on with tourist people there. There's only a couple of liveaboards that you can jump in on to go diving. But that's it. There's not even one house in all this area for tourist people. There's only 2 liveaboards, and these 2 liveaboards are small. It's like a small cruise ship, so for 20 passengers max. So you're gonna see these empty beaches with no tourists or anything like that there. So that's why everything is so calm, because as soon as you are there with all this life, maybe they think you're another animal, you know. So you don't bother them, or they think you're okay. The same thing as Galapagos, like in the northern part of Galapagos, Darwin and Wolf, it's an area that you're gonna see only maximum like around 16 divers in all the island. So it's nothing. So it's not too many people there, and at the same time it's very, very calm. You're not going to see hundreds of people in the same place, you know. So that's why it's so restricted to dive there, because there's a lot of permissions, a lot of license to operate there. So that's why it's so protected.